Welcome back to Bonanza Disc Golf into kind of a different setting because today we are in a Planet Fitness parking lot because that's where we're parked for the night. And I've been doing a little bit of network, working on my form and everything. There have been some running jokes in the comments that I've seen that you guys are like, man, I gotta take a shot every time he says I'm working on my form. Please don't, because everyone will be way too drunk. So, in this video today, I want to kind of change my bag because I've noticed I haven't been playing with my bag a lot and I want to start playing with a bag of discs, more than just for reviews, but actually to practice while I'm implementing my new form to make sure that it's actually translating onto the course. And in the back of my van, I have 1,010,000,000 discs. So in today's video, I want to actually exchange essentially my whole bag. A couple things that are in there right now might stay because I put them in there after reviewing. And I basically want to start from scratch and see if I can create a bag from all the discs that I've reviewed, as well as just some extras that I've had lying around. Knowing what I know now about how I want to build a bag, as well as accounting for my form change, so that there are some discs that I can try to grow into as my form change is taking effect over the course of this off season. But there are also other discs that are going to account for the fact that I'm throwing more hyzers and I'm a little bit more noodle armed, a lot more noodle armed right now. I have discs that I'm going to be reviewing in this bag. I think these are also discs too. Nope, these are just already reviewed. These are giveaways, so we can't include those. More discs that I have reviewed. There is a mystery box that I haven't touched yet, so we're not gonna include any of those. And now, let's try to build a bag. Okay. So the main reason that I'm wanting to do this right now is because I took my discs and played Markham Park, which is a nice park down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Right now, I'm in Naples. We're gonna be up on the West Coast now. And I went and played with my discs with my wife, just trying to have a good time. I was like, hey, all this form change has been a lot. I've been doing a lot of work. I just wanna have a little bit of fun, not even worry about filming anything at all, and just have a good time. And I did for a little bit. And then discs just were not flying the same. But I realized that for me, going into a field isn't actually as beneficial as going onto the course. So we're actually gonna take out everything that's in my bag and kind of apportion it based on what was in my bag and what I just put in, because I reviewed it and liked it. Rive is gone, all my Graces are gone. I don't know if they're gonna make it back into the bag. Now we have all of these discs to choose from and try to make a bag. And just so you guys know, with this bag that I'm building, I'm gonna take my normal bag, which I have thrown for a while, and play a little 9-hole course that's close to where we're parked today. We're gonna play that tomorrow, and I'm gonna play that with the new bag, and we're gonna see how they fare. Okay, so my putting putter's going in the top. I'm looking for basically understable, stable, which is straight, and overstable options for putters, mids, fairway drivers, and I don't even think I need that many distance drivers right now. I'm gonna put them in my bag because they'll help me to see if my arm is speeding up as I go throughout this form change, because the form is changing relatively quickly. You don't get to see how fast it is because I'm literally putting out videos day by day, so you guys are kind of more along the journey with me instead of week by week. You'd be able to see how much faster it's progressing, but if you go back and look about a month back on content, a month and a half, you'll be able to see just how fast things are kind of coming along for me. There are a couple extra slots as well, like overstable approach discs, kind of super flippy stuff that you don't normally throw. Those are more utility slots that you're gonna need, but I'm gonna kind of look through everything. These are discs that I just reviewed here, and then this is the Discmania mystery box video. These are discs that I'm going to review. These are Clash and RPM right in here. I might put actually some RPM discs because I've thrown them a little bit into a field, and the Clash discs and Wild discs I think are there as well. Oh, they're up here. I think top up here is all stuff I haven't reviewed yet. I Finish Line discs, Wild discs, just so that you know. Oh, just some general reviews that are coming along the way. Divergent discs is up here as well. Then I have some Gateway stuff as well up here. And then my Daredevil. Those are both new kit in the bags that I've already done. I think these are all just extras of discs that I have. I have a lot of Strikes. I have more Rives and Graces down here. Don't know if, oh, I have a Hex. That's interesting. I don't even know if there are any straight to understable throwing putters, because the one other understable throwing putter that I had, which was a PA5, which I had reviewed, which I had liked, and was in the bag for a little bit, I did some field work with it, and I literally couldn't find it in a field, and I looked for an hour. So that was embarrassing. Wow, I do not think I have any straight to understable putters. I really don't want to put this in the bag because of how it's in like that super soft plastic that's the magic from Gateway. I think there might be some RPM discs. I've heard everyone say that I'm going to like the 2E a lot. 3.4, -1, 0.5 from RPM discs. It's got a weird kind of dome to it. It feels pretty good in my hand. It's relatively shallow, so I think we're gonna put the 2E in the bag here for an understable slot. One that might compete for is the P1, the D-Line P1, which I really liked, and this is gonna go in the bag. It's just super straight. It's kind of like a baby mind bender, I found. And I want a slightly overstable, like torque resistant one, and I think we're actually gonna throw the Prodigy PA3. This one was Alden Harris giveaway that I won. This is the 300 plastic, I believe. This was just so dead straight. It's got a bead. Not sure if I'm the biggest fan of that. Maybe I would want something else. I could put the Logic in there. I kind of like the Logic, actually. And then I wouldn't have to beat up this Alton Harris. I'm going to put the Logic in there, I think. Any other good ones? There are a lot of good throwing putters, man. I think we're going to go Logic in there. Overstable, Exo Soft, and then I think we are going to keep the Jokery for an overstable thrower as well as approach disc. And I think I'm going to jump up to a 5-speed for my super overstable slots. All right, mid-range is next. I think for the really flippy slot, there are fuses, there are flips. Fuses aren't even really flippy. BB6 isn't even mine, that's for a giveaway. There's not a lot of people who make a really good flippy mid. There's the Berry. We could try the Peach. 4-5 negative 2-1. Feels understable, not like ridiculously so though, but I've heard that this is really good. Probably not as flippy as I would want, but I think we're gonna put this in. I think we're gonna keep the flip in the bag for that really, really flippy spot. But this will hyzer flip up to flat with a nice turn. This will hyzer flip and then go boom, right to the right. So we're gonna put both of those in there. Straight mids, I kind of want a couple different spots. I really, from the mystery box, really got along well with the MD3, which is just dead straight, but I also really like the Warship, which is pretty glidey. Seems just like a glidier version of the MD3. I actually think I'm gonna put the Warship and the MD3 in the bag instead of the CAC Z, because I thought the Warship, I mean, it feels just so good. It feels very similar to an MD3, just, I don't think it feels faster, but I think it flew a little bit farther, so we're gonna put those two in the bag as well in our straighter spot. For a really overstable one, I think I am gonna stick with the Ursus and really just try that out. Two different plastics. This one is more overstable than the glass plastic, so we're gonna put both of those in there. Kind of feel like I'm missing just an overstable approach disc, but I didn't like the Razor Claw 3. Don't quite wanna put zones back in the bag. Do I have anything else in here? I got a Buzz, that's not going in. Part of me wants to try the Hex as well. I think I am gonna throw the Hex in there. There's gonna be some overlap. One of these is gonna leave, but I want to try the Hex. This is a Neutron Hex in the same lines as the MD3, but I really like the MD3. I'm not like a disc maniac, but I really like them so far. And then for a slightly overstable throwable that's not all the way up to the Ursus, a part of me really wants to put in the Kotuku in the bag, which is 5502 from RPM Discs. I think Drew Gibson is trying to rebrand it as the White Heron, which I think is pretty silly. Just call it the Kotuku. It's not a hard name. Yeah, there's a Glow Kotuku in here. Kind of want to get some reps in with it in the RPM video, and then it might take the place of something that's in the bag, because I've heard it's a really nice disc. Ooh, I think for an approach disc, ooh, this plastic feels weird now. The Victor 2 feels kind of weird after sitting in the van for a bit. The Copperhead's shallow. I really like the Copperhead. It seems similar to the Jokery, so I might put the Copperhead from Lone Star in here as well. No, I only need one. I do really like that thumb track though. And I like that it's in a base plastic. We'll use both. We'll use them in the same spot, just for one when I want to skip and one when I don't. Ha! Found a way to sneak them both in. Okay, all right, so for our fairway slots, I think a lot of these are just ones that I've recently reviewed. Strikes are going in. I have 2 strikes because I like throwing those. Those are ones that I can see myself bagging for a while. I really like that slot. Essence, for a slightly flippier, this is kind of my river slot, but I like it more than my river. I also like it more than the Stratosphere that I compared it against. I think for my kind of Thunderbird-ish, Onyx-ish slot, especially with my lower arm speed right now, the Getaway I think will be a really good option. So I just reviewed that and I really liked it as well. I think we're still missing a very flippy fairway driver, which I don't even know if I have, but that could be good to get something down as a roller. Ooh, the Soda's pretty flippy, but I think it's kind of more Essence-y. I don't think I have anything that is that flippy. I think the Essence is flippy enough. No, it'd be nice to have something that would flip a little bit more than the Essence just to get really easy hyzer flip to turnover shots. Do I have nothing in here? Stratosphere, no. Lone Wolf, Onyx, Blade. Oh, maybe the Genius. I reviewed this. Wasn't the biggest fan. Way more stable than the number suggested. I wonder if it beats in a little bit, if it will be that flippy, because my patron didn't want it. So I think we're gonna try the Genius in that slot. Not ideal. Kind of wish I had reviewed anything else. There are a couple more fairway slots that I want to build out here that I want to try out in my bag. An overstable 9-speed, kind of Felon-esque, or tried out an overstable 7-speed, or a flip-up 9-speed, which would be the equivalent of my 7502 discs. So I'm gonna throw in these Thought Space Vodums right here, a couple that I was given from Zach Benson, King of the 8 Holes, also owns Prismatic Gear. Shout out to him. I think this is the Ethos and Ethereal plastic. This one just looks really sick, and I think they flew pretty similarly when I had thrown them, so we're gonna throw that Ethereal one in there. And then the 9-speed slot, there's a lot of them that I had tried and liked. I kind of don't want something as glidey as the Saints. Maybe that would be nice, but I think actually we're gonna go with the Infinite Discs Dynasty because it seemed a little flippier, like very easy to just get up to flat and work. So we're gonna go with the Eric Oakley Dynasty, which actually he gave me, which is pretty sick. Don't wanna lose that. And I think that should round out a pretty, nope, still missing that overstable 9-speed, which I think the getaway is close, but I really just want like a meat hook as a 9-speed as well. Do I even have anything? I don't really carry that crazy overstable 9-speed slot in almost anything else. All hope lies in Clash and RPM. Otherwise, this is a slot that I'm gonna have to fill with a different disc. Oh, I might be able to fill it with that. Ooh, no, that didn't tell you a lot, but I was thinking Pepper. I think there's also, okay, Pekka, no. This is the Platinum Kiwi, which is 10404, and this is the Steady Pepper, which is 11404, I believe. There's a little dome on the Kiwi that I'm not sure if I really like that much. The Pepper is pretty nice for very overstable 11-speed. These both, I think, are like stupid overstable. I think I'm gonna put the Kiwi, the Platinum Kiwi, in the bag as well, in that overstable 9-10-ish control slot. Onto the next slot, which the first one is gonna be the Dystopia, which is an understable 10-speed, which is more flippy than the 9.5 -1.2. This disc I really like. So I'm putting that in the bag. I've thrown it as far as my Graces, like 400 feet in the woods. So that's really solid. Now I just have to find some distance drivers, which I'm not mad that there's not a lot of space left for, because I don't need a lot of them. I basically want to find some 11 and 12 speeds, maybe 13 speeds, because I was actually, the Nuke video is going to come out later, but I was really liking the Nuke against the Rive. Definitely feels more like a 13 speed. But I'm definitely gonna put some discs in my bag that I'm gonna grow into, and some that I think I'll use as my distance drivers right now. I really liked the Nimitz, surprisingly. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay there forever in that 11 speed. There's also the Stratosphere, and there's also the Enigma, which I think is pretty similar to the Nimitz. The Enigma is 12.5 -1.2, and it flies pretty nice right now as my arm speed slowed down a little bit for me. And then I need to find an overstable driver for the bag as well, which, kind of just bomber style. I think I'm gonna put the Nuke in the bag because people really like the Nukes. And as I progress in my form, right now, that video is gonna come out. I was able to turn a little bit. I was throwing it pretty well. I was really liking the flight out of it, and it is bigger in my hands. So I'm gonna definitely put this in the bag because I really like the titanium Nuke. And then one last one is just that super stupid overstable. Don't know if there's anything really that I have reviewed recently that I like. These Yeets are super overstable for 12 speeds, surprisingly, which I really like, but I might have to give some of these up because my Hooligan Disc video just came out and I lost. So you'll see that, or you probably already did see that. I don't think I have any other, I don't typically carry that type of disc or like backups to that type of disc. I think it has to be the Yeet because I will get to keep one Yeet. I'm gonna put the Piney Woods Open Yeet. Actually, this is a cooler stamp, so it's probably the one that's gonna get chosen. I'm gonna put this other red Yeet in the bag. And there's one last slot for that understable driver, which I don't know if I have it. This one, I'm not gonna throw over water, but this is the disc that I got for my first ever tournament. It is an Infinite Discs Thero, and it is pretty beat in. This thing bombs. This thing bombs. So this is gonna be kind of my bomber understable driver. It's 167, not throwing this close to water. Gosh, I don't care that much about this sometimes. But I have to remember, this is my first tournament disc, so I have to. Side note, when I was in Colorado, I gave it to someone to borrow for a second round of a tournament, and they threw it in the water, and I had to go get it. That was brutal. But yeah, that's a full bag. We'll just go over it real fast. And I think that should do. It's a lot of new stuff. I'm very excited. That excites me for disc golf because I'm gonna probably play a lot, not on the channel with this bag, just getting to know it and playing well with it. And hopefully I get to know some of these discs, and hopefully some of them do make my bag for the season, but got a lot more discs to review and a lot more play to do with myself. Let me know what types of stuff you want to see, maybe more vlog style content. Some people said that like there's not been a lot of variety lately, but then I look back at my last 2 weeks and I think I have like 5 different series of videos over the past 2 weeks. So I guess it's not a lot of variety if you watch every single video, maybe, but even then I try to mix it up for you guys. So let me know if you feel like it's not been varied enough, but I've been trying to keep it varied. My bag is going in timeout. Ooh, one more disc that we can throw in for fun as an approach is the AGL Baobab, which is kind of Berg-esque, but more of a stable. So I don't think it's as good as the Berg, but it might be a suitable replacement. So we're gonna throw in a premium Baobab that Josh over at AGL sent me out. See if you like it. So this is what we are left with. Honestly, it's too many discs, and it is far too many discs for me. I'm definitely going to be taking some out because I think there is some overlap, but I want to throw them all in similar lines and just figure out the ones that I do want to keep. I'm excited to play with both of my bags tomorrow and see if there's any difference. And it's always exciting to try to play with new plastic and to learn it. It's just a good thing to learn how to do. So hopefully I can learn all this stuff pretty well in the off season and figure out what do I want to throw for when the season comes around in another 2 or 3 months for me. In the meantime, I'm gonna continue working on my form. I just hope you know my brace, much, much better. YouTube thinks you like this video a lot, so go watch it. This video took way longer to film than I thought. Hopefully I can edit it fast. Okay, love you. Bye. That was a hasty intro. Sorry about that. Here's a forehand for you. Ha! Bang, forehand. You're welcome. Okay, bye.